Hello YouTube and welcome to the Platy Pen. Today's Friday, so I figured I'd make it a Fryday and show you all the different fry that I've been having lately, all the different births. So this tank is just kind of a holding tank for a bunch of red wags that I've called that aren't a good quality. They were bred with something else. So basically just holding these guys till they're big enough I can give them back to the pet shop and trade them in for some different fish. So there's a lot of ones in here. I figured I'd start off with the tank with the biggest amount of fry. The only adult is this guy. And the only reason I kept him is I love the size of the orange saddle on his back. So now that we've taken a look in here, let's go walk around to the other tanks and have a little talk about them. Now in here is the bumblebee tank, and we have had 2 successful drops of babies from the one female in here. But there is a problem with them. Here are the 2 first ones, these 2 bigger ones, and they're not pure bumblebees. I did notice the store that I bought the original parents from, they keep their platies in kind of a mixed platy tank for selling. So the female in here has crossbred with a different fish that I did not buy, and the result is some orange colors in the babies. This one right here would have been really nice if it didn't have the orangish tail. If the body was yellow, it would have been a real nice one. Now that little one swimming here is the second drop from that mother, same mother. It's a little more yellow and a little bit more darker of a black, but there still is some orange in them, so these guys will be a challenge. I'm going to have to work the orange out of it and get it back to a nice gold yellow. What I might have to do is get rid of this female and reorder a female from the store and ask them to keep it in a tank with no other platies than that one. But I did get a good drop out of that second one. As you can see, there's one right here, there's one in the back, there's tons of them everywhere. There's some fry that are complete black, some that are orangish, some that are yellowish. So the second drop seemed to be a little better. You can tell it's definitely the genes of the males in here mixing back into that female. Because this dark one and the one in the back here are males. That's the one female that's dropping babies right now. But she definitely did have a good drop. You know, just looking right here. Here's one of the ones that's a little orangish, a little black. Here's one that's a lot of black and a little more yellow towards the dorsal fin. There's a couple that are like that. But we definitely have had a couple good drops of fry in this tank. I'm pretty excited about, because we're going to be working that yellow back into it. We're going to be working the patterns into a better bumblebee shape. And I'm going to see if they can hand down their color patterns, or if it's just kind of a random assortment. You see if inbreeding over generations can make a more uniform pattern. Now out here in the 300-gallon pond, well, 300-gallon tank, we've had some babies. Here's little fry swimming around. I've seen a couple of them like this. So it's pretty exciting to have some fry out here. I've had this tank set up since June, and these are the first fry I've gotten. They look about 2 weeks old. So it's taken some time, but it's been well worth the wait to get fry in here. I think I've had this tank set up since June, and these are the first ones. They're a couple weeks old. So pretty exciting that fish are starting to pop out of this pond. So down here in this tank, this is the orange Mickey Mouse tank. We've had at least 2 different batches of fry, maybe 3. Now the first batch and largest batch so far are these guys. Now what's pretty cool about that first batch is if you can see that dorsal fin, it looks like a high fin. You can see that one right there as well. So this first batch looks like a high fin, and the high fin mother in here, right here, she was the one that was added in last, months after. So all these other bigger females and males, they're all of the same family, from a single mother, while that high fin female here is from a different family. And she seems to have given birth first. And if you can see these smaller ones in here, These are of a second batch, and I don't know if it's hers or if it's someone else's, so we'll see. If it ends up being hers, I'd think that'd be pretty interesting, that there's all these other fish in here, all these other females, but only one is giving birth, and it's the one I've added last. So about in the past month and a half, we've had all these different babies. Some different interesting aspects of them, including the bumblebees that are giving out babies that have orange colorations, and these Mickey Mouse ones that are giving off high fin genes for all the children. Now, another thing I find kind of interesting about these high finned ones is it seems that every single baby in here that is of that size is a high fin. There's no regular. And I know she's mated with the males in here because I've seen it as soon as I added her in, but maybe it's just a first litter from whoever she was mating with before I had her. Seems to be quite a bit of babies in that first batch, and that second batch is definitely a much larger amount of babies. So I fed them a little heavier just to get them crawling out of the Java moss and water sprite there, just to see how many there actually are. You can just see it just starts crawling everywhere. So that second drop might be a third drop, but there are definitely a lot of little baby fry going on. So what I mainly use for cover for fry is Java moss, and then I might have water sprite in the background, but I'll also have water sprite and hornwort floating on the top. That seems to provide like a labyrinth of channels for the fry to follow, but the adult fish can't get in there. Just see how many little babies there are in that Java moss. So I hope you all enjoyed your Friday, and I hope you all enjoy this video. Comment, like it, subscribe if you want to. Pray God blesses your aquariums and keeps your animals multiplying as these are here. Have a good day.